Hello, everyone. Welcome to CDO Magazine series of one-on-one interviews with chief data officers, data leaders, and other key influencers. I'm your host, Jon Kimerle, Global Strategic Healthcare Alliances Leader at Pure Storage. I come from a fairly extensive healthcare background, so I'm very excited to be interviewing Shahidul Mannan, CDO at Bon Secours Mercy Health. Welcome, Shahidul, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jon. Excited to be here and looking forward to the conversation.
Maybe just touch upon, Bon Secours Mercy's cloud strategy. Sometimes, I'll again always want to focus on the business or clinical outcomes that the projects are trying to achieve, and sometimes I'll challenge some leaders. Is it a destination or is it an operating model, or what types of problems are you trying to solve, or opportunities that are unique that are able to provide with those tools? So just cloud strategy in general, and any perspectives there.
Sure, yeah. So our cloud strategy is, more of a hybrid model, but at the same time, we do focus a lot, almost cloud first when it goes into the innovation space. But keeping always in mind how we can balance the two, because we are in a unique situation where we have tons of legacy systems, as well as a lot of EHRs who are still on-prem bound. And those are our key sources of data and key sources of value delivery, whatever we build driven by data in many occasions. And on the same note, we do want to take advantage of the flexibility with cloud, with the variety of new technology and emerging technology that comes in the cloud space, taking advantage of various services, APIs, various SaaS applications, and innovation that's going on. And ChatGPT is on everyone's verbatim nowadays. So something like that, whenever it comes out, we can quickly integrate it on our cloud environment. So that's why I have a balanced approach in that perspective. So all our bread and butter reporting, all our regulatory and other compliance, as well as operational reporting, we use mostly on-prem data stores that we have within our EHR boundaries. And then for all the innovation work and the new data ecosystem and building new advanced analytics or AI-driven applications, we are using the power of cloud, to use all the scalability, extendability, flexibility, and B, taking advantage of that newer, shinier, innovative products that cloud providers are coming up with. And the last point on this is, I think it's something you always want to still balance, and keeping cost also in mind. Cloud is not necessarily cheaper, but it can be enabler for many. So for example, if you have a data science team who's using GPUs day and night, the bill can really go high if you're completely on cloud. And maybe you need a on-prem cluster that can provide that flexibility and a little bit of cost remedy or cost advantage. So you always want to keep the best of breed in mind and go with that, and definitely not with the hype. I know not everyone always think in a balanced way because of the temptation at times to go with the shiny object all the time. But I do think that cloud provides a tremendous advantage. It's making a leap for us in many ways, but at the same time, we want to be cognizant of how we balance our regulatory responsibilities, our security responsibilities, and cost management. And on the last one, on cloud also, now the security and everything is becoming more and more robust. So I'm also looking at some of our partnership and commercialization opportunities on cloud by building out more multi-tenant and highly secured environments of that sort.
From my perspective, there are, I'm seeing all sorts of very unique solutions that are in between on-prem and in the public cloud that even further optimize the model, cloud adjacent, co-located data stores, direct connect to elastic compute, things like that. Any workload characteristics or innovation things that maybe a year or two ago weren't being talked about that you're, looking at that are, in between, definitely fall within that hybrid cloud, multi-cloud type, concept, but, something that's different than just on-prem or in the public cloud?
Yeah, good question. I think we have those on our radar. It would likely need, some more high-value use cases to start pursuing them. But I think your question is spot on with the trend that we are seeing, which is now that we are able to get data from bedside devices, from our wearables, and from so many other interesting sources, and we are able to combine them in a more effective manner and in real time deliver the value through analytics or AI capabilities that can be life-saving, predicting heart failure or predicting sepsis or predicting certain type of condition that may need immediate attention. So I think edge computing from that aspect will become more and more relevant and of importance. We have some use cases along those lines that we are experimenting with. So that is something of our kind of future path. And I think it will start to add to the ecosystem that we are just talking about.
Yep. Yeah, I routinely said if the last 10 years, was about, the electronic health record, automating these clinical process, starting to get the data flowing, the next 5 to 10 is going to be about the data driving insights and advantage. And I think I was actually in Boston, looking at, Boston's harbor and then Logan on the other side and thinking, infrastructure matters when you get to the scale that we're talking about. I mean, it's, the amount of data that our organizations are going to be working with will be, I don't know, 5x, 10x, the number of users, and especially if you add in the machine users and algorithms that will be using that data, looking for ways to improve care. I mean, that's so, the user demand on the infrastructure is going to go, 10x as well. So exciting times. Well, as a wrap up, as you look into your crystal ball and look at some of the technology trends, what are some of the things that you think are going to be big game changers for healthcare in the next couple of years?
Sure. Yeah. So I think there are tons of exciting things that's happening. As you know, I mean, we are not only focusing on operational efficiency anymore, we are focusing on actually more improved diagnostics with data and AI. We are focusing on better patient outcome by better procedure matching or better treatment matching, again, using AI, be it analyzing the genomic profiles and matching it with the right procedure or right medicine. And then personalized medicine is a reality that is coming up next, obviously, and it's going to be tremendously data-driven using the patient's history or encounter history and efficacy of various drugs. So I think it's just scratching the surface at this time when it comes to how data can be an enabler going forward. And I'm super excited to see how we are not only building out the infrastructure, which is a must because that's the key enabler with the right security and right governance, but also kind of moving ahead, poking around with tremendously creative innovation. The way I see it is, and I call it often, is we are driving or flying a plane while we are changing the engine or various components quite often. And I think that's a fascinating place to be, and it's going to be the reality for near future. And one other innovation area I'm very eager to see, and my team is also working on, is how we can unleash the power of unstructured data. That is, I think, where another focus I expect to see in terms of innovation. As you know, in healthcare, unstructured data is probably 70-80% of our data universe, which is yet to be unleashed. So it'll be an exciting way to make it usable and how we can use it for newer and innovative use cases.
Thank you for your time and insights. There's a couple of things that I learned and focus on, and the discipline that you and your team put around innovation was definitely one of them. It's it is a discipline, and you can create environments where much more agility and ability for innovation to be lifted up. So appreciate it, and look forward to connecting in the future.
Thank you, Jon. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. And I think you covered so many interesting areas, and really enjoyed the conversation, and looking forward to seeing you in Boston.